Yo folks, and welcome to the channel. My name is Bork. In today's video, we'll be talking about Solana NFTs and NFTs in general. We'll talk about Mark Cuban sort of dipping his toes in the Solana NFT space, not to mention different roadmap items when it comes to NFTs in Solana. Talk about Raydium partnering with MagicEden, the marketplace, super amazing. Not to mention Coinbase releasing their own NFT trading platform, and then Alpha.art, this new marketplace, released a couple days ago or maybe a week ago, I'm not even sure. And then we'll recap it all with Sol analysis in the market caps for Solana NFTs. But let's go ahead and jump into the first things with Mark Cuban hinting at his lazy.com URL right here. And if you actually dig into it, you can sort of look at some of the NFTs that Mark Cuban owns, such as a CryptoPunk, Bored Ape, all these like amazing different things. But note here the Neopet. This is a one of one, but also Neopet's plans to release on the Solana ecosystem. So I wanted to do some digging if I wanted to sort of find this wallet. Now, one thing I want to hint towards is Crypto Cubs was like, hey Mark, let me drop you some cute cubs into your Solana wallet. And the reason why they were talking about that, I found the Neopet. And the reason why it's so important that I found Mark Cuban's Neopet is because you can see there's a crypto cub right here. And this is a one of one for Mark. It looks absolutely amazing. You know, sharks in the background. Not to mention this crypto cub looks clean as heck. The one and only Mark Cuban. I just thought it was really cool that Crypto Cubs did this. If you want to try to find this wallet yourself, I'll leave you guys to it. Just know Mark Cuban's Neopet. That's like the biggest clue that you can sort of do in order to find this wallet. I can't wait to look at it again, and it'll be filled with like a bunch of memes, or it'll be empty. Who knows what'll happen, right? But next things being is the Solana NFT Roadmap breakdown by Mert. And thank you to him because this information is crazy amazing. Because you can see what most projects are going to be doing, where it's airdrops and giveaways, some sort of royalty system maybe, a game, merch, DAO. These 5 things, it's not a bad thing if an NFT is doing it. It's really good stuff because this is all just giving back to the community overall. But if you see like one of these 5 items essentially pop up, that means it's a common feature. It doesn't really make the Solana NFT or the NFT special in some ways, because if everyone's doing airdrops, if everyone's doing royalties, it's not special. If everyone's trying to make a game or trying to release merch, trying to do a DAO, it's not special. It's just sort of like a buzzword sort of thing that you throw into your like Solana NFT project to say that we're going to be doing stuff. And it's really hard to sort of accomplish, for example, you know, proper merch, proper DAO. A game is quite possibly like the hardest thing to do within the first year of launching an NFT, unless it's a super basic game. And then when it comes to airdrops and giveaways, everyone sort of does that. Usually it takes like a couple like days before it's all fully set up, but it is really cool stuff. But it's not really a big enough incentive for folks to hold. And then when it comes to royalties, unless you're like a really early adopter of the NFT, it's really difficult to say whether royalties are worth it, because you might get a couple bucks back, but it's not going to be like anything jaw-dropping when it comes to actual royalties dropping in your wallet, right? So when it comes to like Solana NFTs, maybe you want to look towards something realistic where, you know, you can release a comic quickly when it comes to like Solana NFTs. Maybe you want to do a digital land. That one's going to be really hard. Open sourcing your code is super bullish. You're very confident with your NFT being successful, therefore you can open source it. Exclusive passes, I've seen this with NeoNexus and the golden ticket, not to mention Solanauts doing like their exclusive pass. And then there's the deflation, like sort of burning mechanisms that people have been implementing, such as the gods. I think charity of itself is never overplayed. Charity is always a good thing. I think like royalties, airdrops, games, merch, and DAO, this is just like much harder to pull off and not as exciting to me. Utility tokens, this is probably the most difficult, and I don't see this getting implemented anytime soon, but whoever pulls it off first on their NFT project, they're gonna like kill it because it's really hard to do it. Not to mention staking. Fract is actually already doing this, and that's really cool. But overall, if you jump into this post that Mert made, there's gonna be all the different projects essentially hinting towards these different capabilities. I recommend sort of checking it out because it's really exciting what Solana NFTs are doing. Not to mention like audio NFTs that are slowly like coming into fruition. But let's go ahead and jump into the Raydium and MagicEden stuff, where essentially they're partnering together to create a better marketplace for the both of them. The most bullish thing that I saw from like this entire Medium article was the fact that MagicEden will integrate Raydium swaps, allowing any token to be used as payment for NFTs on the platform. So that means like you could use different types of coins to essentially buy stuff on MagicEden or on Raydium. And the reason why that's so bullish is because it just means that you're going to have more freedom with what you do. It's going to be more decentralized. And these marketplaces, you know, they're not regulated. They're not like under any sort of control. The more freedom that you have to essentially do things, the better. And MagicEden has always been one of like the marketplaces that's been very quick to implement things. They have like the bid system first, they have a launch pad. Now they're partnering with Raydium. I just say look out for MagicEden because they're not talked about the most, but they're definitely one of the fastest when it comes to innovation. And then there's Coinbase with their own NFT trading platform. I think this is just going to be really cool because it's going to let normal people sort of jump into the NFT space. Just note that Coinbase is only going to be focusing on an Ethereum based NFT trading platform. I'm sure they're going to do Solana based stuff. FTX right now, they're doing Solana NFTs, but just note that FTX also plans to go into different blockchains as well. They don't plan to just be on Sol. They plan to support everything, including Ethereum, of course. But it's really cool to sort of see Coinbase doing this thing because it means NFTs are becoming more mainstream. I don't know if it's a top signal. Every single time Coinbase sort of does something, not really like the greatest for crypto in general, but it's just something to sort of be aware of that this is going to be happening. FTX doing it, them being the first, obviously movers advantage, but there's a lot more users when it comes to Coinbase because essentially you can download Coinbase on your phone, and you know, the fastest to implement it to the masses, that's going to be a clear winner. And NFTs are so much easier to understand than actual coins, and they're so much more fun to own because of the communities. Next thing is alpha.art. Just note that anything being sold here, it'll go to a revenue sharing sort of pool with Piggy Soul Gang, which is really nice. So if you're a Piggy holder, it's going to be huge benefits to you. But when it comes to alpha.art, the reason why I like it is because it's such a clean interface. Like you click anything, it's all really fast. Not to mention you get to see the total volume for every existing project. So this volume is not based off of the fact that it's been sold on alpha.art. It's the overall volume for the entire project. And I just like it because you can also do bid systems. It's fast, it's easy to use, and alpha.art just really speaks for itself. Obviously, MagicEden doing like its own sort of innovation, being like the most innovative marketplace right now. I think that's really cool. But alpha.art really sets the tone as far as like the user experience and like just being like, oh, this is just so easy. I can buy whatever I want and I can see a lot of different projects with ease. Let's go ahead and round things off with the market cap analysis for Solana NFTs. I know some of you guys are worried like, oh, some of the top projects are not doing as well, but let's go ahead and cover some things. So with the MonkeDAO, just note this website is completely based off of the community. Like the SMB devs did not make this website. This was made purely organically, and I love how like this website looks because it really shows how monkeys or SMBs are very particular with how they want to show themselves off, very professional, and I love all the bananas. And what's really cool, Karn, he's one of the devs for essentially SMBs. Actually, if you check it out, he is the guy who actually drew all of like the monkeys and created the art for it. And he was talking about how like, hey monkeys, we're going to be setting up a proper decentralized governance system for SMB holders. Essentially, Karn and the SMB devs are going to be working with MonkeDAO to essentially make it more of, you know, there's going to be tokenization, there's going to be different governance models. The devs essentially working with SMBs makes me super bullish on SMBs. And of course, full disclosure, I have an SMB myself. That's like one of the things I show off on like my Twitter page, obviously, right? But it's just nice to know that we're working with the devs. Things are going to be brighter in the future as far as monkeys go. I want to assure that. Not to mention like ThugDAO, going to be really great. They just released their website a couple days ago. They're going to be doing community airdrops, which they already do. NFT escrow on their own marketplace. They're going to have an app for phones, not to mention artist outreach program. So you know, this is a young Jotaro piece right here, absolutely amazing. Not to mention the Thug label, where essentially, you know, upcoming artists as far as like audio stuff goes, they can essentially be part of like this Thug label, give themselves a space as a newcomer. And then not to mention there's going to be like actual meetups, IRL, honorary thugs, all the different things and long-term plans for the overall ThugDAO. And huge shout out to the team who put this website together. I think it looks amazing. I'm so excited for like the ThugDAO. Makes me just as bullish as the MonkeDAO, right? And I also own Thug, in case you guys are kind of curious about that. I also wanted to talk about Galactic Geckos. Yeah, they had some stuff coming, but now they're teasing essentially another faction, or after the Gekondia. I don't know how to even say that. But the point is they're hinting towards other things coming into the lore when it comes to Galactic Geckos. This is why Geckos sort of increased in price. They were at like 20s and now they're back at 30s. And also I wanted to cover like the Degenerate Ape DAO. They're covering like this sort of new airdrop that's going to be hinted towards any Degen Ape holder. So that's going to be really cool. Overall, I think like Degen Ape is doing something in the background. They're being relatively quiet at first. Just something is definitely going to be happening, or you could say probably nothing. But this sort of like silhouette, it's going to be really cool to be a Degen Ape holder essentially. Geckos doing their own thing, ThugDAO doing their own thing, MonkeDAO, we're doing our own thing, working with the devs. Not to mention Aurori, they're just powerhousing it with like game gameplay and trailers sort of speaks for itself. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the first games that releases in the Solana ecosystem as far as like being a more high quality standard. And then, you have the other projects. Pesky penguins, I see them everywhere making, that sound. Newt, it's everywhere, man. Like they're everywhere. Meerkat Millionaires are doing their own thing. Soul Steeds, they implemented like the Twitter sort of handle thing. We already talked about Piggy Soul Gang. And then Grim Syndicates, I love this place. I love being a Grim. This is probably one of my more bullish projects, but I'm not trying to shill anything, all right? I'm just telling you how I feel about everything. A lot of projects are doing work in the background. Just wait for like that inkling of like people to have like some liquidity to start buying NFTs, and you're just gonna watch the market shoot up. But it's not really a bear cycle right now. We're sort of like in this consolidation phase where people are trying to essentially get the appropriate price, and then there's gonna be some bullish movement in the future. Just expect something to happen is all I can say. Like if you're in the MonkeDAO, you get exclusive information as far as like certain people wanting to join the MonkeDAO. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to shill MonkeDAO. Let's just say it's a huge place for alpha, and you want to be here in case you want to know like who are like the biggest people when it comes to Solana NFTs. Because obviously having something that's worth 245 SOL, you're gonna have some serious people playing with some cash, right? Anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. It's been super amazing covering all like the different news when it comes to Solana NFTs. I always have everything here in like my notes page on my Google spreadsheet, so feel free to check it out. And of course, just check out my Twitter, because most of the stuff that I talked about today, it was all on Twitter. Yeah, thanks so much. Have yourself a fantastic day. See you guys in the next one.